It was a stunning victory for the world's biggest tennis star, Novak Djokovic, although in a different setting than he's used to. After a week of controversy, an Australian court has overturned Djokovic's deportation and ordered his immediate release from detention. Now, it's a setback to the Australian government, which had revoked the visa of the tennis star over his vaccination status, even though Djokovic had medical exemption from Tennis Australia. Now, it was a decision that had polarized the world and bagged global attention. Despite the order, there is a chance that this controversy might drag on. The Australian government's lawyer told the court that Immigration Minister Alex Hawke may still decide to exercise his personal power to once again cancel Djokovic's visa. Now, Judge Anthony Kelly called the government's decision unreasonable and ordered the federal government to pay legal costs for Djokovic, who had spent several days in an immigration detention hotel. Now, Kelly also said concerns about how the Serbian was treated by Australian border officials on his arrival. The judge noted the exemptions given to the player and asked what more could Djokovic have done. Now, the news of Djokovic's release was greeted with noisy celebrations. Music and dancing erupted outside the court in Melbourne as supporters welcomed the verdict. Djokovic's case had sparked anger in Australia, where over 90% of the adult population is double vaccinated, and public opinion has been largely against the player. Emotions ran particularly high in Melbourne, which experienced the world's longest cumulative lockdown in the last 2 years. Now, for more on this story, Scott Spitz is joining us live from Melbourne. Now, Mr. Spitz is a sports reporter at The Age. Thanks for being with us on this show. Firstly, does the Australian government have egg on its face now that the court has ordered Djokovic to be released?
Oh, I think that's definitely true to some extent. It's extremely damaging for the Australian government. It doesn't look good for wherever you're watching this story from abroad. There might be another step, as has been mentioned in the reports, that the government is sort of keeping another card up its sleeve to reinforce the cancellation of the visa. They'll make a decision in the morning. But yes, it's certainly been a very damaging couple of days for the Australian government.
Right. Now, everyone was saying that Djokovic was following the rules that were laid down by Tennis Australia, and that effectively what we've seen unfold is a battle between the federal government and the state government of Victoria. Now, Djokovic is someone who has the ability to go out there and to battle this with an armada of lawyers. What about the other players who have been sent back? They have been somewhat denied the ability to be able to play and possible earnings.
Oh, no doubt. The situation involving the two other people, one player and we believe the second person to be an official, just adds to the intrigue. They have left the country, unlike Mr. Djokovic. The player actually chose to leave once she'd played some competitive tennis. The official, we understand, left on his own volition as well. It's another a strange ingredient to the story that that player, she would have provision to perhaps trying to seek to come back to Australia if she wanted to, should in the end that the decision to cancel Novak Djokovic's visa remain. There could be a few more twists in this story yet.
Now, on that, in court, it was said that there is still the procedure in the hands of the minister to perhaps cancel Djokovic's visa again on the grounds of him being a public health menace. Now, do you think that the time has come now to draw the line on this and to move on?
Look, it's a really good question. It's going to come down to how strongly the federal government believes they should maintain their decision to try and seek to cancel his visa. The player himself, Novak Djokovic, would have garnered some public support in the last few hours, given what he's already gone through. And some people might say, OK, fair go, it's time to let him stay, let him play. Look, the government, there's an election due this year. They need to work out how strongly they want to push the case. The judge today made a ruling overturning the government's decision, essentially in what was perhaps considered a technicality, and that is why the immigration minister might still take the additional step to try and look to cancel the visa again. It is possible.
Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us with all the latest on Djokovic's story there.
Thank you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.